Hi, I'm Cathie.
Hola, soy Caty.
I'm a Republican.
Soy demócrata.
I'm Caucasian.
Soy hispana.
We come together every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. to discuss issues involving all Nevadans.
Estamos aquí cada martes a las 2:30 para hablar tocante problemas involucrando toda la gente de Nevada.
Come to America today.
Hi, y'all. I'm Cathie.
Hi, and I'm Caty too.
We're with the Cathie and Cathie Show. And we're very honored today, Cathie.
Yes.
Would you introduce our special guest for us, please?
Well, we have here from Amistad Cristiana, Pastor Joel Menchaca.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here with you. May God really bless you. We are Amistad Cristiana Church. We've been here since 1941. We're located on 9th and Stewart downtown, and we're experiencing a little bit of a problem with the city of Las Vegas and also with Life is Beautiful event. We'll be talking about that in a little while. Right now, I just want to let you know that there's 5 churches that are in the area where the event is taking place. We have 2 Baptist church, 1 Catholic church, church in the street, and then of course Amistad Cristiana. We've been there since 1941. The event just started about 3 years ago, and for 3 years we've been trying to tell them to work with us where we can all be happy. We're not trying to say to stop the event. We know it brings the economy up in our sector of the city. We do need to improve the economy for the casinos, for the restaurants, for the motels, for that area. Since most of the people go to the strip, the downtown area, we need to bring people. I understand all of that. But if we're going to bring people into the area, we have to work together. And that's what we're trying to do.
So, if I'm understanding right, okay, and if you'll tell the viewers, please, who are viewing this at this time, the problem that you are having is you are respecting Life is Beautiful concert or group, and you're respecting that our economy benefits by this. But in turn, who's respecting the churches and the people of downtown Las Vegas?
That's our issue. The problem is that their music has no regulation. We counted the amplifiers. They have 35 huge amplifiers in one section, and then they have the other section with 40 amplifiers. They're at full blast. And what we're saying is, can you muffle them down or put some trees around it so that the noise won't get out of the area? Because it's not only the churches, it's the people that live there. We have a community there, and there's a senior center there. And what happens is they go until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't get any sleep with that noise. Then you have to remember there's from 50 to 80,000 persons or people that gather there.
And
So-
Pastor, how have you guys contacted Life is Beautiful? Have you guys spoken to them, and what have you guys come up with on a solution?
We have come up with a solution. We have told them that if they would get a place for us, for the churches. Remember, we're talking about 5 churches. We're not talking only about Amistad Cristiana. If they could get a place for us would be one day, Sunday. For the others, I don't know the different days that they have service, but they go on for about 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the days that they used to set up. So if they would get a place where we could all go and have a service of our own away from there. If they would rent a place for us, we would, like Cashman Field, we would go all the way over there to Cashman Field. We would tell the people, hey, let's meet over there at Cashman Field. But see, they don't want to do that.
Pastor, may I ask you something too? Is this music and festivities and things going on during church hours?
Yes, it's that they start early in the morning, testing, setting up. They bring in groups from all over the world. They usually have anywhere from 20 to 30 groups. I know that they're the best groups in the whole world. This is something good, but they don't take in consideration the people that live there, the businesses that are there, and they don't take in consideration that the churches are there.
So it's not just affecting the churches, it's affecting a whole community and workers and people that have to sleep.
So they normally start at 12 o'clock noon, right? Is that correct?
They start at 12 o'clock noon, and they go until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, Pastor, let me ask you this too. I'm starting to get a picture of what you're talking about. So these groups from all around the world, they're actually setting up and practicing during the time that the church is holding services. Is that correct? What time is your church service?
We start at 10 o'clock in the morning. We have told them that if they will work with us and let us go into the church, we can start at 9 and finish by the time they start turning on the equipment. But they don't want to work with that either. So, yes, we start at 10, but the Catholic Church, they start since 5 o'clock in the morning.
For Mass.
For Mass. And then the Baptist Church, I think they start at 12 or somewhere around there. And then we have the evening services. And all through the evening services, they're already in full blast. They're already having the festivity going.
Okay, so that wouldn't really help the evening service. But if you did start a little bit earlier, then the problem is, the reason you can't start earlier is there's barricades. Is that correct? Is that the problem you're having?
Yes, that they barricade all the area, all the way from 11th Street to Las Vegas Boulevard, from Fremont to Bonanza.
But Cathie, I don't see why they have to barricade an area where it's not affecting Amistad Cristiana. You know, why barricade all the way down to Bonanza and those areas when they don't need to barricade that much? They just need to barricade the area that they're in, and just hold out the facility that they're in, and then also understand that there's still a community. Maybe make the hours different. Maybe try to accommodate the people and ask around what people, are okay with. Instead of just coming and saying, I'm going to build a show, I put this much money, and I'm going to do it, and instead of asking, what is the best
Well, not only the problem, because you might get the idea, they're only talking about the churches. But I want you to also see the need for the people that live in their area. When we say they barricade, that means they don't let the buses go by to pick up the people. You have to walk all the way to 11th Street, all the way to Fremont, all the way to Bonanza. You have to walk in order to catch the bus. So we're not doing this only because of the church. We're doing it for the community. And again, I have to say, the people that have to work early in the morning and they can't sleep because of the noise, and still they have to get up and go to work. That's the reason they selected to live close to downtown, because they work downtown, and they selected the areas there to live, to get there, but now they can't even go to sleep.
So, Cathie, as a Republican, I'm looking at this as the city is not taking into consideration that there are people living their lives there. Plus, there are people trying to get in to come to church that find that they don't have access to any of the roads, that they are actually locked out from their churches. And what do you think about that?
Well, as a Democrat, I
Yes.
see that we are going to agree on the same issue. I believe that we need to see the church as part of the community,
Right.
see the church as part of being affected as much as the people and the elderly that are around that area as well. They're not only children that also have to be out in the heat. They have to walk
Right.
from a very long area where mom has to get the bus and then these kids have to walk all by themselves. Or even a school bus, because I don't know, it happens on a Friday night. I don't know what happens. It might start Friday night, start with the barricading in the
Right.
morning, because of course you've got the employees that work for the city that have to have these barricades up before a certain time. So that actually affects very early in the morning, Friday morning.
It starts a week before. So it's not just when the event is going on, when the music is going on. No, they start putting the barricades a week before.
Right.
They stage, they have to put lots of movement goes on around there. So I'm sure that it affects the community.
Well, I remember a couple of years ago, actually, we had a meeting at the church, and it took us 45 minutes to get around all the barricades, to figure out how to get around. And I was just lucky Art was driving, because I'd have said, oh, I can't do this. And see, that's not right, because this was a very important meeting, just as the church is important. And another thing, too, Cathie, I'd like to ask the pastor, because I know we talked about the different churches, but this is a real diversified community, isn't it?
Yes.
Can you tell us, give us an idea of what the churches are like?
We have the St. Joseph Catholic Church. They do their Mass in Latin. And I want you to know that that's the only church in the city of Las Vegas that I know of that does their service, their Mass in Latin. So he has quite a few people coming over. So it is a Catholic church. Then we have two Baptist churches that I think one of them is for the black community. And then we have a church in the street. That church is all types of people go in there. Whites, also some homeless go in there.
Right.
Because they help a lot of people. Church in the street is to help people out with food, with clothing, and they do a very, very great work for the community there. Yet, when the event goes on, they cannot give out anything to the public. The people that are homeless, that come for their weekly food to survive, they cannot get in.
And this isn't, correct me if I'm wrong, Pastor, but this involves children too that might not have food for the week.
Yes.
And have to wait until the next week. Is that correct?
That's correct. See, they give out, there's the three churches that give out food in that area. It's Church in the Street, St. Joseph Catholic Church, and Mount Zion Baptist Church. All three of them give food out different hours and a different date so that the people can come and get their food for the week. And when the event goes on, they have the hardest time. The people, like you said, it takes a long time to get there for their bag of food. And this is why we're doing it. We're not doing it only because, hey, we're a church and you respect the church. Even though we are protected by the First Amendment that we have the right to worship, freedom of worship, freedom of religion. We do have that right. Whether you're a Catholic, whether you are a Baptist, whether you are from Amistad Cristiana or Church in the Street, or whatever church you go to. You might have to move out, go out from that area to go to your church, and you find yourself barricaded inside. Well, whatever church you go to, they're taking away the right to worship. Right now, it's just saying, well, we're barricading the streets. But I think that if we don't do something, pretty soon they're going to say, you close down your church, we're going to have events.
It does seem to me, Cathie, that it is looking more and more like the events are taking precedent over people's lives
And a community.
and the community.
And the church.
And I'm really concerned for those people that might not know about this event, and they think that they're going to come into the churches and receive food for their family to live that week. And when they go to catch the bus tells them, you know, because most of them don't have cars.
Yeah.
And some of them have bus passes, some of them don't. But even if they're walking, and then the church is not running that day, because what would happen then, Pastor? What would happen to?
Well, they probably would go a week or days, maybe 1, 2, 3 days without having anything to eat for the children. And this is what worries me. We don't know. I can't tell you exactly if they do or not. Maybe the pastors had worked out an idea where they might go out of the perimeter to put their tables out for the people. I don't know if they do that or not, but I know that they cannot get into the church to get their food for that week.
I think when this life is beautiful, if there is going to be a possibility that they would be able to work with the churches and the community and the people and speak with them and say, hey, our event is going to happen. We would love for you guys to be a part of it. We want to make sure that we don't affect the community nor the churches.
Right.
We want to work with you. We want to bring in the money. We are all a part of the community. And I do understand, as much as I'm listening to Pastor, he is for the event. He is not against the event. Mm-hmm. He's just saying, we just want to worship. We just want to go to church. We want to be able to help out our community and make sure that no person is having to walk in the street alone in the dark because the bus has left them in a very pitch black place and they have to now walk from a distance to their home when the bus stop could have been right where they're normally, dropped off. We need to make sure that Life is Beautiful is aware that they're not only bringing in money, but they're also affecting a community that really would love to be a part and to be talked to the next time they have another event like this, to inform the community and let them know, hey, we want your input. We want you to come on in.
There's a lot of things that they can do, but they're not listening. See, for example, the churches that give out food, all they have to say is, we're going to put you a tent out of the perimeter, and we're going to put tables for you. We're going to help you carry the food over there so that the people can continue getting the food. They can do things like that. Or they can say, we're going to look for a place where all of these congregations can go outside of the area.
Okay, Pastor, now, as I said about Life is Beautiful, and you were going over a few things that would make it easier to be beautiful for the community, too, during their stay here, that they would show respect for the community, for the churches, for the people. And what would your suggestion be?
My suggestion would be that we could have a town hall meeting with all the community. If the city would just call on them and tell them, let's get together, let's work this out. When they had a town hall meeting, it was only for them.
Oh.
It wasn't for the community. A lot of the people wanted to go. They have asked me, can we talk to them? But now we have lost faith on them.
Oh,
because they promised us, the first meeting that we had, they promised, oh yes, we're going to work with you, we're going to go do this, we're going to do that. And a week before the event, they called us up and they said, well, whatever we had said, we can work it out.
Oh, so in other words, you didn't waste time. You were listening to them, and they made promises to you, to the churches, and to the community that they would work it out with you. So right down to the 12th hour, they say, oh, we can't. Now, speaking of running out of time, when is Life is Beautiful event?
This year they have it programmed for October.
At what time? What day?
I don't know yet what day and at which week of October, but it is for October. And I heard from the city that they're going to try to have 2 of them a year, because they know that it brings a lot of money. They know that we need the economy, which again, it's okay. They can have it 5 times a year if they want to, but let's work it out together.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't want to take them to court. I didn't want to talk to them.
Tell us about the suit that you have going.
What we're telling them is just, you don't listen to us. Can we have somebody to be the judge, to see what we're asking you, to see what we're planning to do? And now, because we're in court, you will be bound by whatever the judge tells you. Again, it is not to be against the event. It is, we are for you. We're here for you. We'll do whatever we have to for you, but do something for us. Just know that we are here. And then another thing is, I don't know why instead of going to a regular court, it's going to be a federal judge, but they're sending us to a mock court. It's called an area over at Thomas and Mack Center,
UNLV moot.
to the Boyd Law School. I guess they want to teach the students how to be in court. But see, this is not just a mock thing. This is really people.
I think that's
this is a
something
community.
that I see, that it should be taken serious, and for some reason it's not being taken serious.
And I guess they're not taking serious that people, it doesn't matter what religion you belong to. You might be Buddhist, you might be whatever religion you belong to. If they don't respect one of the groups, that means they will not respect you either.
Well, I'm listening to what you're saying, and Cathie, I don't know if you're looking at it this way or not, but it's really sad that the pastor has had to actually bring a lawsuit against them. And what I'm looking at now is this could be something that all of Las Vegas could get involved in. Pastor, how could, say, Cathie and Cathie get involved and help the churches and the communities with this?
Well, you're helping now by making the people aware of what's going on.
Pastor, and Cathie, and listening to all of this, I'm kind of getting the feeling that this is not just that part of town. This is a Las Vegas. This is our First Amendment right. And not only freedom of religion, but freedom, too, to be able to live peacefully.
Yes.
And Pastor, the community, there's a lot of people, and I've already had a lot of calls on this, that want to get involved, that actually would like to come out and show support. Can you give us the information as to when this hearing is going to be and what the people can do to help?
It's going to be, like I said before, the Thomas and Mack Moot Court Room at UNLV Boyd School of Law. And it's going to be on September 17.
Thursday.
It's a Thursday at 2 p.m. And we would like to invite you or ask you to help us. You can come by the church, Amistad Cristiana, 901 East Stewart Street between the hours of 10 in the morning to 8:30 in the afternoon to sign a petition that you defend freedom of religion and that you stand with Amistad Cristiana.
And that's this Sunday?
It's this coming Sunday,
The petition.
because it's the last Sunday that we have
Yes.
before September 17. And also, you can help us by contacting Cathie and Caty,
Show.
the show. You can call at this number, 702-528-9456.
Okay, and that way they can achieve the information. If they have to leave a message, we'll get right back with you. So be sure and call us for information and what you can do. And if you would like to talk to the pastor too, then we can put you in touch with him.
We want to thank you for being here and for giving us this information. And we hope that, at least the judge would be able to really see both sides and really come up with a good solution for this event, and that they don't actually try to do anything other than understand that you guys have a church and that there's a community, and that they also can continue on with their event.
That sounds good. And also I'd like to thank you too, Pastor. And Cathie, we'll let Pastor have the last word, but I think that this is something that we all need to get involved with, as Pastor said, no matter what religion you are. But you need to preserve your freedoms, because once you give those freedoms up, you can't get them back. So I really encourage everyone, this is something that you all need to be involved in. Pastor, you have the last word.
I just want to thank Cathie and Caty. Thank you for having us here. And again, I would like to ask you to support the freedom of religion, freedom to worship, freedom to have the time to go and worship wherever you go. I hope you never have to go through this in your church, in your community, because it's something terrible.
Ahorita sí, para que la gente sepa. Ahora déjenme decirle el problema. Quizás se enoje tanto la ciudad o los promotores de este evento que digan, ahí en esta iglesia se junta gente indocumentada. Vamos a echar la inmigración. Quiero decirles una cosa. Les prometo que les daré alimento, agua, comida, porque de adentro de la iglesia no los pueden sacar. Estamos protegidos mientras que estemos aquí.